I went to the northern community of Pinehouse, Saskatchewan, in search of teachings that would help me better understand my roots, but also to share with my community. That's where I met a man in recovery, Elder Peter Morin.
I died for a while because of stabbing. The grandfathers told me, you have to go back. And I did come back to this world because my job wasn't done.
I spoke with him about culture and recovery, and when I asked him if he'd like to be interviewed, he said, of course, that's what I'm here to do.
Well, the grandfathers are the trees, the rocks, the water, the sky, the air, all moving things. Whatever that's in motion, the leaves, the wind, those are the grandfathers. To me, that's how I recovered.
In this episode, I talked to Elder Morin about how his drinking got started, how he turned to the land to help him find healing, and some really powerful insights on how culture saved his life. But before we get into it, what's up? My name's Dan, podcaster, keynote speaker, and advocate, and this is Hard Knocks Talks, your addictions podcast. Now, let's get into my talk with Elder Peter Morin from Sandy Bay, Saskatchewan.
This is Hard Knocks Talks.
Thank you for joining me today.
Welcome.
Yes, Peter from Sandy Bay.
Yes,
What's your band name?
Peter Valentine Band.
Okay. Is there anything that you'd like to say before we jump in?
I'm just glad to have this interview.
Yeah.
And it's a purpose that I'm here for. It's probably some messenger came to me and I have to say something.
Yeah. Yeah. And the interview I was supposed to do today was with the president of Métis Nation, but it didn't come through. So I woke up, well, it was supposed to be yesterday. I woke up today and something spoke to me and said, there's someone else here. There's someone else here. And it was you. So you have a very powerful story. You told me little bits and pieces of it. Is this something you grew up into? Was there a lot of alcohol growing up?
Yes, there was a lot of alcohol growing up. And there was a lot of assimilation in my life because I lost my identity, which I am a true Métis.
You talked to me about residential schools and how you escaped.
Yes. Well, this is not a residential school where I went to school. This is a public school. But it was like a residential school. That's why I couldn't make it to school because I was beat up too much and picked on. Because of my origin, I guess.
Yeah. When did drinking start coming into your life? Like when was the first time?
When I turned 18, that's when drugs and alcohol came to my life.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was a trapper with my dad in the bush.
And you mentioned that you had a choice. You could either stay in school or you could go to the bush.
Yes, and I took that choice to go to the bush because it was safe there.
Yeah. You noticed, too, you mentioned to me that people were disappearing around you.
Yes,
Yeah.
From alcohol and drugs, I guess.
Yeah, but also you said they were being put on planes.
Yes, I seen that back home there in the late 60s. People getting thrown in the plane, forced to the plane, and sent out.
Where were they going?
I don't know, different places, I guess.
Like different schools, you think?
Yes. Yeah.
So what was the conversation like for you around drugs and alcohol? I mean, if typically the stories that we hear, or that I hear, the drinking and the drugs, it typically starts earlier. And a lot of the times it's like 12, 13 years old. And you were out trapping. Was your family drinking when you were out doing this work?
Well, my dad was an alcoholic, but while I was growing up, he quit. And then I went trapping with him. But in the meantime, back home, my mother drank a lot, and the family unit wasn't stable.
Yeah.
But we were together as a family.
And what did they say to you? I mean, you didn't have an inclination to drink, even though you saw mom and dad doing it?
No, I was there for my mother and father because I guess I was the workhorse for the family. And I had to provide my big family, not my immediate family, my whole family in the community.
And that was
Hunting, trapping.
yeah. So was it your intention to stay away from drugs and alcohol?
Yes,
Yeah.
when I was growing up. I was doing a lot of sports, mostly hockey. But then my friends influenced that.
Yeah. So tell me then, what was it like when you turned 18? You had every intention of staying away from these things. What was it that drove you to drink?
Just to be part of the crowd. Because I was a shy guy as growing up.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
And it was all around you?
All around me, yeah.
Yeah.
Because in the late 60s, the town was isolated. It only had a winter road.
Okay.
And alcohol was very available because you could go to Flin Flon 3 times in one day. And
During the winter?
Yeah, during the winter. And I've seen booze transported to the community like you're picking berries.
So, was it fun?
Not really.
Like even in the beginning? Even in the beginning?
It wasn't fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I lost half of my life through alcohol.
Yeah. Were you connected to culture at all before this happened?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a little boy, I was embedded by my grandfather.
Okay.
Taught me about a lot of ancient things.
Yeah.
Because I had a grandfather of a medicine man and told me about these things that are going to happen.
What happened then? You started drinking?
I started drinking hard. Then I started having kids of my own. You know, while I was drinking in my time, I was all over the place. I died for a while because of stabbing. But my job wasn't ready because the grandfathers told me, you have to go back. And I did come back to this world because my job wasn't done. What they meant was my family. And who talked to me there was my dad. He passed on when I had that dream, when I got stabbed in the hospital, when I came down to my senses. And he told me, you have to go back. You can't come with us. You have to go back to your family. And remember the times I used to tell you about drinking, he told me. Quit drinking and go back to your family. Who's going to recover and look after the children. So I was gifted that way to stay sober. And today I'm a very proud grandfather, I guess I could say, because I'm still with my grandchildren.
What was it like raising, like when you got sober?
Well,
and
it was pretty hard raising 4 children.
Yeah.
It felt like I was a half mother and a father because I had to get the kids to school. I had to cook. I had to wash. I had to stay home 24/7 at home, so the kids could rest and sleep and go to school.
Was it challenging to show them the culture like you were shown early on?
Yes. Sometimes in life, As you're growing up to be a young man or a lady, you want to be part of the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like drinking up all your money,
Mm.
having a lot of friends hanging out with you,
Mm-hmm.
but no family.
And this is something you saw your children go through?
Yes,
Yeah.
it bothered me a lot.
Yeah.
So I had to straighten alcohol out.
Well, how did you do that?
I had to go out in the bush and call the grandfathers to help me, to know myself, to know why I'm here in the land, and
Okay.
how I was gifted by the Creator
Mm-hmm.
as a native person
Mm.
to use my cultural skills to help myself.
I see. So you didn't go into the bush asking the grandfathers to help your children. You went seeking peace for yourself so that you could
I,
be okay.
yes, and if I'm okay, the kids are going to be okay.
Is that something that you knew you were going to do? Because that's very insightful.
Yeah. Well, the grandfather's out there to talk to you because you've gone to the bush to talk to him,
Okay.
and he gives you direction.
So when you say the grandfathers, like what do you mean? Because there's a lot of people that are going to watch this that won't understand.
Well, the grandfathers are the trees, the rocks, the water, the sky, the air,
Mm-hmm.
all moving things.
Mm.
Whatever that's in motion, the leaves, the wind, those are the grandfathers.
Mm.
To me,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I recovered.
Mm.
And the back of my mind, there's somebody talking to me, give me direction.
Mm-hmm.
I had to leave my family for 2 years to straighten out. I had to leave my community for 2 years to get back to my family, to go for a journey,
Mm-hmm.
see if it works. And it did work.
Mm.
And when he come back, grandfather said, we'll give you back your children. And I couldn't figure it out. How are they going to give me my children back?
Mm-hmm.
You'll see in time you do what you're told, they told me. We're the ones that are going to help you. You sit here and listen to us because there's a journey you're going to have to go through.
Mm.
So I had to leave my town for 2 years.
So where did you go for 2 years?
I went to Flim Flon for a year. I went to Puggidawagan for the other year.
Mm-hmm.
Then I came back home after 2 years.
And what did you?
And when I got to the shoreline by boat, my children were standing in the hill there waiting for me.
Really?
Really. Because the grandfather said, we'll give you your children back when you come back to the town. But in between that, you don't go to town, to your community, or you try to see your children till you recover the 2 years.
Huh. And when you were in Flin Flon so what was the other place? Sorry.
Puggidawagan.
Puggidawagan. What did you do? Did you work?
Oh, I kept myself busy.
Yeah.
Hanging out with people that don't drink, that are doing cultural stuff and
Did you ever
camping out.
Did you ever go to AA or anything like?
No,
Oh, okay,
no,
okay.
because the rehab is the bush.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So Flin Flon, camping, hanging out with people, doing cultural things.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that stood out in your mind during that time when you were on your 2-year journey out away from community? Were there any instances where something like clicked? Like, yes, that is something that can help. Like, because I'm always interested to know, when was the moment? Sometimes there are moments in people's lives when they're on their healing journey where staying sober makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Something clicks. I can stay sober.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any moments like that for you? Any teachings that
Yes.
you received?
Yes, there was teachings that I received. When I went back home to my family, what the grandfathers told me, we'll give you your children back. I've seen it in my eyes in front of me when I got to the village,
Mm-hmm.
because they were standing, all 4 of them,
Mm-hmm.
waiting for me. I guess the grandfathers delivered them literally to me.
So,
And from there on, I straightened out.
okay, I just want to take a little break and let you know that this episode is funded in part by the SK-NEIHR, the Natawehoan, and the Mamawayakikiak Research, Training, and Mentorship Networks, which facilitates First Nations and Métis First Nations health and well-being research, training, and knowledge mobilization throughout Saskatchewan. The SK-NEIHR is grounded in community and led by Métis First Nations and allied researchers in partnership with Saskatchewan's 3 universities and many community partners. SK-NEIHR is funded primarily by the Canadian Institute of Health Research. Métis Nation Saskatchewan has announced its path for the pursuit of self-government. As an MNS citizen, I am proud to see my government fight to protect my rights. This is our moment. To learn more about the treaty and our path to self-government, go to ourmoment.ca. EHN Canada is Canada's leading provider of mental health and addiction services, providing evidence-based and medically assisted care with 1-year wraparound services for those suffering from substance use disorder. To learn more, find their link in the show notes below. Pine Lodge, the treatment center I went to 7 years ago when I got sober, offers inpatient addictions treatment and aftercare programming in Regina, Saskatchewan. To inquire about services or make a donation, call 306-510-1891. Wellness News Choice for Healthy Living is a local resource that works to connect people to health and wellness related products, services, and expert advice from industry professionals, locally allowing us to connect and engage. Check out wellnessnews.ca or skwellnesshub.ca today to learn more. Are you affected by someone else's substance use? Family and friends can be okay and do recover. Naranon can help. Contact Ronnie at 306-731-7573 for meeting information. To make contact or to learn more about today's sponsors, to check out our merch, or if you want to show us some love and buy us a coffee, all of those links are also in the show notes below. So you got through the 2 years uncertain.
Mm-hmm.
So despite all of the cultural teachings that you received along the way and the grandfathers showing you these things, certainly in those 2 years the grandfathers were walking with you and showing you things.
Yes.
But it wasn't until you got back to your village and saw your children waiting on the hill, that was the moment for you.
That was the moment I really straightened out.
Did it feel like a weight came off, or that a weight came
all
on?
the weight came off for sure.
Because, I mean, did you come back knowing that you were going to be taking responsibility for the children, or was that
No,
in the future still?
It was just like a dream to me.
Okay.
And it happened
Yeah.
in my life.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a true story, man.
Yeah. What did your children say?
Oh, they were happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was hard raising them.
Yeah.
With today's society now, it was hard to keep the family intact.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a mom. They got a mom, but I don't know. Today, we get along, me and my ex, because we recovered from alcohol.
Mm.
We help each other now.
Mm-hmm.
We get along good now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have grudges like when we used to.
How long did that take to heal from? I mean,
it took a long time.
Yeah, my partner and I, we were in addiction together. And I think I might have told you a little bit about our story.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how hard it can be to forgive.
Oh,
you know, and
it is.
Forgive
To
the
forgive
person.
yourself first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You first. You
Yeah.
can't forgive nobody till you forgive yourself first.
So,
Anything you do in life is about you, not anybody else. If you deal with your inner self, you'll be able to talk to whoever.
was that something that you learned on your 2-year journey? Like when
Yes.
you came back to that town, you had forgiven yourself at the
Yes.
most fundamental level.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
What was it like for you when meth started coming into your community?
Oh, man.
Do
It
you
was
remember?
just like a circus.
Was it overnight or was it slow?
Oh, it's persistent.
Mm-hmm.
Because where I come from, I've saved a lot of lives. People using drugs, people using alcohol. Lots of abuse. I always talk to my friends about that, about alcohol, how it could mess you up, a family unit.
When your children got into it, was there a period where you tried to influence them, where you tried to stop them? Did you
Yes.
try to punish them? And if you do this, this is going to happen. And then was that ever a strategy that you tried to?
Well, the only way I punish is by my talk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hit or yell,
Yeah.
just my harsh speech
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah. And you tried.
I tried and I did some.
Yeah.
It helped some.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But at some point you had to let go.
I had to let go.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
tell us about that. What was that realization like? Like, despite my best efforts, despite my most powerful words, this isn't working.
Well, you know, everybody's got his own life.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're given children, God put you in this world to do your work,
Mm-hmm.
your gifts. You look after your
Mhm.
gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody put those gifts in you, but the Creator is going to give you those gifts. What are those gifts? Your life, your family.
Mm-hmm. Was trying to save them ruining your own life?
Yes, it was ruining my life for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when you went out into the bush again.
Yes,
So was that another long journey for you? Like, did you just like, how old were your children when this happened?
they were 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you kick them out?
I didn't have a choice. They had to leave the house.
Yeah.
Because it was planned already. I planned it already myself as a parent.
Mm.
You can't be living with me when you're 30.
Yeah.
Or you can't be sleeping here while I'm still doing my work, I said. You're on your own after 18.
Yeah.
Whatever I teach you, you use it to yourself like my father teach me.
Mm.
I use it what my father teach me.
Mm-hmm. So this was an act of love.
Yes.
Okay. So it didn't have anything to do with addiction or with alcoholism or anything.
Oh, yeah.
It had gotten bad already.
Oh, it was bad, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about that. Now, you went out and you realized that you couldn't help your children. Now, that must have weighed very heavily on you. Like when they were in their addiction, when your kids were in their addiction, and you couldn't help them.
Yeah,
That must have weighed very heavily.
it was.
And you went to the bush
Yes.
to do your own healing around
Yes.
that. Now, when they decided to get sober, did they come to you
Yeah.
asking for help?
Yeah, some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did that look like for you?
I asked them, that's what I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
What I did to get you back in the family unit, I had to deal with myself first
Yeah.
in order to deal with you as children.
I had to get better so I could deal with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me more about the community now, and we did touch a little bit on this already. But
Well, in the north, there's so much alcohol and drugs.
mm-hmm.
It seems that there's no law. And we do have law.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the residential school again, I guess I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
There's no bylaws. There's no... you could tell the cop about something, but then they won't believe you.
Mm. I'm trying to understand how the epidemic up here. I mean, it's everywhere, but and it's here too,
Mhm.
right? With fentanyl, with meth.
Yes.
What's being done in your communities? Like what do you see being done in the communities for your community members that are struggling. I mean, like I said, with the tent encampments.
Not a
and
hell
stuff.
of a lot.
Yeah.
Not a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
In the community, we used to have a child care center.
Yeah.
It worked good. We had a rehab center.
Mm-hmm.
It worked good. But then all those things were taken again from the community.
Mm-hmm.
And the trauma came back to the community.
Mm. When you say the trauma came back, what trauma are you talking about?
Alcohol and drugs.
Mm-hmm. Before we cap it,
Mm-hmm.
tell me what life looks like today.
Life is great today now.
Yeah.
I'm a recovered alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
I still use drugs,
Mm-hmm.
but not to abuse it,
Mm-hmm.
for my own personal use.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd like to throw in there?
I'm just proud of my children,
Yeah.
and I'm proud of the recovering people that I see today.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not easy, is it?
Not easy. When you cry, there's different ways of crying.
Mm-hmm.
There's a happy cry, and there's a lonely cry, and there's a hardship cry.
Mm-hmm.
When I cry, I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
because I feel it here. I don't feel it up here.
Yeah.
And I don't cry just to make a show.
Yeah.
I'm happy. That's why I cry.
Yeah.
When I win a championship, when I cry, that means I'm happy. That's how I did it in sports too.
Yeah.
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 But I had to work hard.
Yeah. Does the old trauma ever still come back?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That probably never leave me,
Yeah.
because living that way as a boy, it's pretty hard.
Yeah. You're talking about the bullying at school, and
Yes.
like, was there bullying at home too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They talk about the black sheep.
Uh-huh.
When you're the pulling horse for your family,
Yeah.
how does that make you feel?
How old were you when this started happening?
Just a boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the grandfathers told me, be humble. Be who you are. Never mind what they're saying. Deal with your own.
And
Because you can't deal with those things
yeah.
till you deal your own
Yeah.
inner self.
Yeah. Yeah. And even from a young age, you were being told this.
Yes.
Yeah. So these abuses, they, even to this day, they come back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're not cured.
Eh?
You're not
I'll
cured.
probably never be cured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have days where you just can't even
Yeah.
deal with life?
Function. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Traumatized that embeds you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to let it go, but you think about those things.
Yeah.
As you grow older, you cry more. You're more lonelier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why,
Mm-hmm.
but that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you do?
I just keep myself busy
Yeah. Do you turn to ceremony?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you turn to
Oh.
prayer?
all the time.
Is there a specific ceremony when these things come up, they bubble to the surface? Like, what do you turn to? Like you mentioned, you go to the bush. Is that something that you still do?
I still do.
So you trap? You like what?
No,
are
I don't trap nowadays.
the, okay.
I don't do those things. I just collect medicines and I go out to go and heal myself.
Mm. Do you hunt?
I hunt,
Mm-hmm.
I duck shoot, I fish,
Mm-hmm.
I go out with my buddies.
I was just gonna say, peer support often is very important to a lot of people.
That's very important.
Yeah, you got a few people that can see through your bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So,
yeah.
now when you hunt, now sometimes I'm sure that you you hunt and you have more than like you're going out to hunt to heal. You're going out to collect medicine to heal. Do you keep it all for yourself?
No.
No?
I always share it.
Okay.
Not my immediate family in the community. Maybe I'll go do it in the other community and share those things.
Okay.
Because they're my family too.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think that, and some might say that may be the most healing part.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah. Service to others.
Yes.
It's the foundation of every religion,
Right.
isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's true in your life as well then too.
That's true in my dear heart here.
Yeah. So your teachings, you talked about in our ride down here, you talked about you see all religions, all beliefs there as equal.
Yes.
And you've taken teachings from other religions.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Sorry, more's coming out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, because of what you've experienced, and I have to admit, actually, when I was at the festival site yesterday,
Yeah.
and they were having a gospel jamboree,
Uh-huh.
that confuses me sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Because in light of the atrocities that happened in the residential school systems, as we know, were run by the church.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm confused as to why the church is still part of some communities.
Well, it didn't happen all churches.
Okay.
It didn't happen all churches. It didn't happen in my... It happened in my community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in a public school. I wasn't in a reserve.
Mm.
And I wasn't a treaty then.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Métis growing up. But then I lost my Métis citizenship because the band adopted these people from my community so they could be part of the band.
Mm.
But the people weren't consulted properly. These are the things that are going to happen. And you're going to have a different nation name every year.
Mm.
First there was Indians, Aboriginal people. Now it's indigenous people. I don't know what's going to be next. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So have you studied other religions?
Oh, yeah.
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 So, and maybe for lack of a better word, where have you found the most healing?
The bush.
In the bush. Always goes back to that.
Always go back to that's where I started from.
And that's hunting,
That's hunting,
gathering
gathering,
medicine,
coming together with other people in camps,
and being of service.
and being part of the community.
Beautiful. Thanks so much, Peter.
Thank you.
I
appreciate that.
Yes, of course. And I suppose that's it. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, that's all I got for this one. Thanks so much for joining me. If you got something out of this, please give this episode a like. If you're not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and please leave us a comment. We are all about conducting productive conversations about substance use. We're all about relationship building and community building. So if you liked what you heard, tell us why. If you didn't like something, tell us why. If you want to learn something, let us know what you want to learn in the comment section. We'll do our best. That's all I got for you today. Take care, everyone.
Say, this is Hard Knocks Talks.